Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, today we are going to study about removal of microorganisms by bleaching process. Now most of the microorganisms which are present in water are harmless microorganisms. Yes, the 95% of bacteria present in water is harmless, but the 5% which is present is extremely harmful, and that's the reason why we have to make sure that the water is extremely pure and all the microorganisms are treated well. So we are going to use one of the most important methods, that is bleaching, in today's session of removal of microorganisms. Removal of microorganisms by bleaching. Removal of microorganisms is one of the most important processes needed for potable water. Now what exactly is potable water? Potable water is the water which we use for drinking. The water which we use for drinking should not have any kind of viruses or bacteria imbibed in it, because all the waterborne diseases such as jaundice, typhoid, etc. happens because of the bacteria which are present in the water. So to make the water potable water, the first treatment is treating all the microorganisms present in it. Microorganisms are nothing but all the living bacteria or living substances, living beings which are present or a part of water, which need to be treated. By treating it, we mean by killing it or sterilizing it completely. The process of destroying microorganisms or bacteria is known as disinfection. Why? Because we are making sure that the water is now not infected by any kind of bacteria or virus. But disinfection may not destroy all the bacteria. Therefore, when totally pure form of water is desired, example during epidemics, the process of disinfection is replaced by sterilization. Sterilization is also a process in which all the microorganisms are removed, but it is much intense form of that process. Sterilization is a process which completely destroys the bacteria and microorganisms. In disinfection, we only try to kill the bacteria and microorganisms which are harmful to human health, which are harmful to other living beings. But in sterilization, we kill each and every bacteria or each and every living organism which is present in water. Water can be sterilized by boiling for a period of time as required and then use. When we boil water to, let's say, about 100 degrees Celsius, almost all the bacteria present in the water cannot survive in that much temperature and all of it dies. And that's the reason why boiling is one of the most effective ways of sterilizing water. Now, boiling is one of the most important ways and the best ways to do it, but we can do it only at a domestic level. We cannot do it for a very greater and larger level because it is not very economical. And that is the reason why we use the another technique, which is the bleaching technique. But sterilization is feasible for small scale requirements. For municipal supply of water, larger population, this method does not help. Water is disinfected by, the first is addition of bleaching powder and second is chlorination. Over here we are going to study about by adding bleaching powder. Bleaching powder reacts with water as. Now this is nothing but my bleaching powder. What is my bleaching powder? CaOCl2. This is calcium, oxygen and chlorine. Calcium, oxygen, chlorine are combined together, and this formula, molecular formula of it, is of bleaching powder, plus H2O. This is the water which contains microorganisms. So what happens over here? The calcium Ca goes and attaches itself to the OH over here. So the OH will get attached twice. Why twice? Because this is O and over here I have this Ca will remain as it is. This O will become O2 and this H2 will come over here. So what is remaining? The Cl2 is remaining, which comes over here. Now let us see the balancing of this reaction. I have one calcium on my reactant side, one calcium on the product side. I have two oxygens on my reactant side. Over here also I have two oxygens on my product side. Let's move forward to Cl2. I have two chlorines over here, Number of hydrogens over here are 2. Number of hydrogens over here are also 2. Now what happens? I have Cl2 released. This Cl2 comes over here again and again. It reacts with water. Now when it reacts with water, this one Cl and one H form HCl. Now what is remaining over here? One Cl is remaining, one H is remaining and one O is remaining. So it forms HOCl. This is nothing but hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid is nothing but HOCl. Now this HOCl can again disintegrate into HCl and nascent oxygen. Let us see the balancing of these reactions. This is Cl2, 2 chlorines on the reactant side. The number of chlorines on my product side is 1 over here and 1 over here. That is 2 chlorines. That means my chlorine is balanced throughout. The number of hydrogens over here are 2. The number of hydrogens on my product side is 1 over here and 1 over here. That means the number of hydrogens are also 2. The number of oxygen is 1. The number of oxygen over here is also 1. That means chlorine plus water forming my HCl, this is hydrochloric acid plus hydrochlorous acid. All of this is a balanced reaction. Moving further, this hypochlorous acid disintegrates into HCl and nascent oxygen. Why do we write nascent oxygen? Because O is always found in its molecular state, that is O2. But this is not O2, this is just O, and just O in its atomic form is unstable, and that is the reason why we write it in square brackets. Single oxygen in its atomic form inside the square brackets is known as nascent oxygen. Let's see the balancing of this reaction where HOCl decomposes into HCl and nascent oxygen. The number of hydrogens I have on the reactant side is 1. The number of hydrogens I have on the product side is also 1. Oxygen on the reactant side is 1. Oxygen on the product side is also 1. Finally, I have 1 chlorine on the reactant side and 1 chlorine on the product side. That means this entire reaction is well balanced. In these reactions, the HOCl deactivates the enzymes present in the cells of microorganisms. Now, what plays the most important role is the HOCl, the hypochlorous acid which is formed, and this HOCl will go and disintegrate all the microorganisms or will start killing all the microorganisms which is present in the water. Thus, the metabolic activity of microorganisms gets affected, thereby making microorganisms inactive. But there are some disadvantages of bleaching method as well. If used in excess, imparts bad smell and taste to water. It produces excess calcium, thereby making water more hard. If the water turns hard, then it is very difficult for us to have potable water, because hard water cannot be ever drank. Hard water is nothing but calcium and magnesium salts which are present in the water. Now, these calcium and magnesium salts our body does not need in excess amount, and that is the reason why we do not want excess of bleaching powder imparting excess of chlorine in it, which makes the water impossible to drink. Over here, we studied about the bleaching process and how the bleaching powder is being used to remove the microorganisms which are present in the water. We also studied about the different methods of removal of it and why it is very necessary to sterilize water and make sure that the water is disinfected from the microorganisms. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned to Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda.